The real meaning of the Law of Polarity. Envision a cosmic dance where light and shadow, love and hate, inspiration and fear move in perfect balance, all governed by one profound universal truth. Today, we unveil that truth, the Law of Polarity. Get ready to embark on a deep dive into the fourth Hermetic principle and discover how it molds the seen and unseen forces of our universe. The Law of Polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. This profound statement from the Kybalion encapsulates the essence of the Law of Polarity, the fourth Hermetic principle. It unveils a universal truth, that everything in existence is interconnected through opposing poles. Think of hot and cold, light and darkness, good and evil, positive and negative. These aren't enemies at odds in an eternal struggle. Instead, they are complementary forces, two aspects of the same energy, coexisting to create balance and movement. The very fabric of the universe is structured upon this principle, and yet its reach extends far beyond the physical domain. It touches every aspect of our lives, from our emotions to our spiritual growth. The Law of Polarity teaches us that opposites are merely different degrees of the same essence. For instance, hot and cold aren't entirely separate, but exist on a single spectrum of temperature. Similarly, happiness and sadness are not disconnected. One cannot truly appreciate joy without having experienced sorrow. These emotional states, seemingly at odds, are two sides of the same coin, revealing that polarities are not just interrelated, but also interdependent. This concept becomes even more apparent in the spiritual realm. Light, for example, would have no meaning without the existence of shadow. It is the contrast that allows us to discern and appreciate one over the other. The interplay of polarities is the universe's way of creating balance and motion, ensuring that no single force exists in isolation. The Law of Polarity is not just an abstract idea confined to philosophy or spirituality. It manifests in our everyday lives. Take something as simple as preparing a meal. The interaction between extremes, such as heat, positive, and cold, negative, transforms raw ingredients into something edible and nourishing. Without this interplay, transformation would be impossible. It's the delicate balance between these forces that ensures food is cooked to perfection, not too raw, not burned. Even in societal structures, polarity is ever present. Political ideologies, for instance, often represent opposing poles: conservatism and progressivism, right and left. While these forces might seem to clash, they are, in fact, complementary. One ensures stability, while the other fosters change. Together, they provoke dialogue, generate progress, and maintain balance. When one side dominates completely, the system risks becoming either stagnant or chaotic. It is through the interaction of extremes that society evolves and grows. The Law of Polarity also invites us to shift our perspective. Instead of viewing reality as a battlefield of extremes, we can begin to see it as a harmonious dance of complementary forces. Each polarity contributes to the universal design, weaving a fabric of creation and balance. This understanding encourages us to move beyond choosing sides or aligning with one extreme. Instead, it challenges us to navigate the spectrum, finding equilibrium within the dual flow of the universe. How can we achieve this balance? Through mastery of another Hermetic principle, the law of vibration, which teaches us to align with the energies of these opposing poles. But that's a journey for another time. For now, the key lies in embracing polarity, recognizing that it's not about opposition, but about unity within diversity. Ultimately, everything in existence is part of a single continuum. From the smallest atom to the vast cosmos, the interplay of polarities shapes all experiences. Whether it's the ebb and flow of emotions, the balance of societal forces, or the transformation of physical matter, the Law of Polarity reminds us that life is not about choosing one side over the other, but understanding the necessity of both. By embracing this principle, we gain a deeper awareness of ourselves and the universe. We come to see that within every challenge lies an opportunity, Within every loss exists the seed of growth, and within every shadow, there is light waiting to emerge. This is the real power of polarity, not as a source of conflict, but as a profound teacher of balance, transformation, and harmony. Polarity and human emotions. The law of polarity is vividly reflected in human emotions, where contrasts do more than just coexist. They form an intricate interplay of opposites that shape our deepest feelings and experiences. Love, for instance, is an expansive force. It dissolves barriers, connects us to others, and aligns us with something greater than ourselves. Fear, its opposite, is contractive. It builds walls, distances us, and triggers instincts driven by survival or self-protection. Together, love and fear form the foundation of all emotional creation. They are not merely opposites, they are polarities, existing on the same spectrum. The ultimate transformation, or alchemy, lies in the ability to transmute from one polarity to the other, moving from the depths of fear to the expansiveness of unconditional love. This shift is often described as a union with the divine, where the boundaries of duality dissolve into unity. If love and fear expand and contract our perceptions, hatred and passion are two sides of emotional intensity, offering another example of polarity at work. Both hatred and passion burn with intensity. Hatred is a destructive fire, a repelling force that seeks to reject and eliminate its object. Passion, on the other hand, is equally fiery but constructive. It fuels creativity, connection, and exploration. These two poles, while appearing starkly different, are deeply interconnected. Human emotions are not static. They ebb and flow, oscillating like a pendulum between extremes. Understanding this movement is the key to transforming emotional states. Polarity doesn't just shape our emotions, it's woven into the very fabric of existence. Life is meaningful because death exists. Light is understood only in contrast to darkness. The cycles of nature illustrate this perfectly. In autumn, trees shed their leaves, allowing the soil to be nourished in winter so life can bloom again in spring. These cycles serve as constant reminders of the dance between opposing poles, a dynamic balance that is always in motion. Even in the smallest decisions of daily life, the law of polarity reveals itself. Every choice we make inherently involves letting go of its opposite. For example, choosing to wake up early for meditation means sacrificing the comfort of sleeping in. Opting for a spiritual path may mean stepping away from the distractions of material pursuits. These choices illustrate how polarities work together in harmony, rather than conflict. The law of polarity reminds us that there is no absolute right or wrong. Instead, life is a fluid balance between opposites, and it's up to each of us to choose how we navigate this dynamic interplay. By understanding polarity, we unlock the ability to move with greater awareness, transforming limitations into opportunities and challenges into growth. It's not about erasing one pole to embrace the other, but about learning to dance gracefully between them. The Science of Polarity. The foundation of all matter in the universe is the atom, a structure that perfectly embodies the principle of polarity. At its core, we find protons with their positive charge, forming the centralizing force that binds the atom together. Surrounding the nucleus are electrons, carrying a negative charge, moving dynamically in orbit. This interplay between opposites, static centralization and dynamic motion, creates the balance necessary for the atom's existence. Without this inherent electrical polarity, atoms could not combine to form molecules, and matter as we know it would simply not exist. The attraction between protons and electrons isn't just a functional mechanism. It is the very force responsible for shaping everything around us, from the oxygen we breathe to the stars lighting up the night sky. At its core, all existence is energy oscillating between two poles, governed by the law of vibration. This law determines where energy resides on the spectrum, defining its characteristics and behavior. One of the most striking examples of this interplay is seen in electromagnetic waves, the foundation of modern technology and even biological processes. Electromagnetic waves are vibrations that carry energy through space. They are composed of two interdependent fields: the electric field, oscillating between positive and negative poles, and the magnetic field, oscillating between north and south poles. These fields are constantly in motion, working together to generate a wave that propels energy forward. It is the polarity between these fields that makes energy transmission possible, enabling signals to travel vast distances, whether through light, heat, or data. The light that illuminates our surroundings, the radio signals that connect us, and the Wi-Fi that powers our digital world are all manifestations of this duality. What differentiates one from another lies in their frequency and wavelength, both governed by the law of vibration and deeply rooted in polarity. We live in a reality interconnected by invisible networks, all reliant on electromagnetic waves. The delicate balance between the electric and magnetic fields serves as the engine driving this entire technological framework. Every time you use a smartphone or computer, electromagnetic signals are sent and received, harnessing the power of polarity to connect you with the world. The satellites orbiting above us function on these same principles, transmitting radio, television, and GPS signals across the globe. Even the electricity powering our homes and devices is a direct expression of polarity, alternating continuously between positive and negative charges in what we call alternating current, AC. This perpetual oscillation allows for the efficient movement and distribution of energy. Ultimately, polarity is not just a scientific principle, it is the engine of creation and connection. From the smallest atom to the largest technological systems, the dynamic interplay of opposites defines the energy of existence, constantly shaping the universe we live in. Polarity and vibration, co-creating reality. The law of polarity, working in harmony with the law of vibration, is a powerful tool for consciously creating your reality. While polarity defines the two extremes of any spectrum, hot and cold, love and fear, light and shadow, vibration represents the constant movement and oscillation between these poles. When we understand how these two universal laws operate together, we unlock the ability to intentionally shape our lives in alignment with the forces of the universe. Polarity highlights the opposites, the endpoints of any spectrum. Take temperature as an example. Hot and cold are not entirely separate qualities, but two opposing points on the same continuum. The law of vibration explains how movement along this spectrum occurs. By increasing or decreasing vibration, we can shift from one pole to the other, from cold to heat, and vice versa. This same principle applies to every area of life, including our emotional, mental, and material experiences. Consider financial challenges, for instance. When we focus on scarcity, what we lack, we vibrate at the lower end of the spectrum. This frequency aligns with fear, complaint, and a victim mentality. However, we have the power to shift that vibration. By practicing gratitude for what we already have and visualizing abundance as our current reality, we begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, the frequency of prosperity and opportunity. When you consciously raise your vibration to align with abundance, you naturally attract circumstances, ideas, and opportunities that resonate with the pole of prosperity. Skeptical? Try it yourself. The mind of an alchemist is their laboratory, and the world is their testing ground. Conduct your own experiment, shift your vibration, observe the changes in your reality, and decide for yourself whether this is truly how the universe works. By learning to navigate the spectrum between polarities and adjusting our vibrations intentionally, we become creators of our own experiences. The law of polarity shows us the range of possibilities, and the law of vibration gives us the means to move within it. Together, they remind us that life is not about being stuck at one pole, but about the freedom to choose and create in alignment with universal energy. The universe as living duality. As Heraclitus wisely observed, struggle is the mother of all things. The dynamic interplay between opposites is what drives movement, growth, and evolution. Without opposition, there is no progress. Without challenge, there is no evolution. Life, with all its contrasts and polarities, is a living testament to this eternal truth. The essence of true wisdom lies not just in recognizing the necessity of opposites, but in transcending the illusion of separation between them. Rather than rejecting or resisting one side of a polarity, we must learn to embrace and integrate both poles within ourselves. True inner alchemy is about navigating these contrasts with awareness and balance. When faced with challenges or adversity, instead of fixating on the problem, the negative pole, we can choose to shift our focus to the lesson or opportunity it brings, the positive pole. This simple yet profound shift transforms difficulty into fertile ground for growth, learning, and self-discovery. Polarity is woven into every aspect of our existence. It manifests in our relationships, our emotions, our decisions, and even in the smallest, most mundane moments of daily life. But the key to real transformation lies in realizing that we are not passive victims of these polarities. Instead, we are co-creators of our reality, empowered to navigate the spectrum and choose our responses consciously. By becoming aware of the dual nature of all things, we gain a powerful tool for growth. True freedom emerges when we understand that we are not defined by the extremes we experience. We are the conscious awareness behind these polarities, with the ability to decide which side to align with, and in doing so, shape the trajectory of our lives. So, what are you creating in your life today? Are you feeding fear, or are you choosing love? The choice is always yours. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our latest videos. If you have some extra time, feel free to check out more videos on the channel.